on achievements rather than changing leaders like the previous Conservative government.
First quarter of this year, our economy grew faster than any of the other 7 biggest economies on the planet. But people aren't feeling that enough yet. So we need to focus more on how we get that change to be real in people's lives. We don't need to be talking to each other in the ways that the Tories did.
Foreign ministers of the BRICS nations have been meeting in New Delhi at a delicate time for the group of 11 countries. Iran has accused fellow BRICS member the UAE of participating in military strikes against it. Ishan Gerg has more.
To end this session with a joint statement is certainly going to be hard because we haven't seen a joint statement from the BRICS grouping since the war in Iran started. There was another meeting of Deputy Prime Minister which ended with a chair summary of the meetings without a joint communique, which is diplomatic speak for essentially saying that the bloc couldn't agree on common language. And the common language that is in question is how to describe the war in Iran. Now, Iran, which is a member of the BRICS grouping, wants in the joint communique to be strong condemnation of US and Israeli strikes on its own territory, while on the other hand you have UAE, which wants to call Iran the aggressor of this conflict.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from 2 guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. So we made it through the work week here. It's a Friday, the 15th day of May for 2026. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic ready to start your day the right way. All the news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. A lot to talk about. The Nebraska softball team getting ready for the NCAA regionals that'll get underway today at Bowlin Stadium. The Nebraska baseball team, they played a Thursday night conference game yesterday up in Minnesota, beat the Gophers by the score of 12-7. So we'll talk about that this morning. Drew Carey of Nebraska has been named one of the semifinalists for the Dick Hauser Trophy. That's presented each year to the college baseball player, the top player in the nation. So we'll talk about his credentials for that award coming up. Hastings College golf team is making a run at the NAIA championships in Silvis, Illinois. Broncos had the second best score in the field yesterday at +3, and Hastings will start the final round just a few strokes off of the lead, playing for a possible national championship today in men's golf. State High School soccer tournaments continued yesterday with the opening round games in Class B. So now we move into the semifinals today. The Class A semifinals will be played for both the boys and girls at Morrison Stadium in Omaha. Class B boys and girls will hold their semifinals on Saturday. State High School baseball tournament gets underway today in Omaha. Class A games are going to be played today, and then the Class B and Class C opening round games will be played on Saturday. No games in the NBA playoffs last night. However, we had some action on the ice, so we'll check out those results as well. Jim Slacker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network is expected to join us at 7:30 today to talk about the Preakness and, of course, the meet that gets underway this weekend in Lincoln. Also got some comments coming up from Rhonda Ravel, the head softball coach in Nebraska, as the Huskers get ready to play in the NCAA Regional today at Bowlin Stadium. So all that and more is on the plate with us here today. Tyson Havronic will join us from the Western Studios. Good morning, my man.
Yes, good morning. I love technology. It's a great way to start the day.
Well, it's nice because right when you get started, your system decides to go under a system update.
Yep.
Right into 7 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Where's the tree, Ty? Yes, the tree. No, we're remodeling, not an entire remodel here of the Western Studios, but just cleaning up a little bit. So the tree has been temporarily taken down.
Temporarily? It's coming back?
Well, hell yeah, it's coming back. Coming back with decorations, getting ready to scream summer. We're gonna bring it back. But yeah, it's temporarily down. So enjoy the view of Bob Gibson in the background.
All right, that's the way we get started here today.
That's how we're doing it.
God, where do we start? Give me the keys to the.
You just drive and actually unmute yourself. That's a good way to start.
Oh, God, that happens all the time. I think when I hit my desk.
I think when you get excited.
I'm not excited, not yet, because I'm going to talk about the NFL schedule that came out last night.
Holy sweet Jesus! All right,
I'll
type up some news. You talk about the NFL schedule. We'll rendezvous back in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's well, I don't think I need 5 minutes to get through the NFL schedule. I'm not going to run down the entire schedule for you today, but I'll give you the highlights. The NFL schedule released last night in a 2-hour special episode that they had on ESPN. The Seattle Seahawks will begin defense of their Super Bowl title against a team they defeated to win it. 7 months after downing the Patriots to capture the Super Bowl, the Seahawks will welcome Drake May and the New England Patriots to Lumen Field for the 2026 NFL season opener. Now, it's going to be on Wednesday this year. A Wednesday season opener is going to be on Wednesday, September 9th. The rare Wednesday night opener is to accommodate the first regular season game in Melbourne, Australia. That contest between the Rams and the San Francisco 49ers will take place on Thursday, September 10th for the U.S. audiences and will be one of a record 9 international games to be played this season. So the opening week of the NFL season is now official. We're going to have a Wednesday night game with a rematch of the Super Bowl with Seattle taking on New England. Thursday night, we're going to have the game in Melbourne, Australia between the Rams and the 49ers. Last time that the NFL season started on a Wednesday was in 2012 to accommodate then President Barack Obama's speech at the Democratic National Convention the following day. So it hadn't happened in a while, but we're going to have NFL football on the Wednesday and Thursday on the opening week. Your Christmas Day triple header is out. It's going to feature the Packers and the Bears. The Packers and the Bears on the Christmas Day. The Bills and the Broncos, and the Rams and the Seahawks. That's going to be your Christmas Day triple header. Thanksgiving, going to have a Thanksgiving Eve game between Green Bay and the Los Angeles Rams. I told you about that earlier this week. That's going to be the one that's going to be on Netflix. Then on Thanksgiving Day, as you're munching down on your turkey and your mashed potatoes, it's going to be Chicago and Detroit in the first game on CBS, followed by Philadelphia and Dallas on Fox. And then the NBC game on Thanksgiving Day is going to be the Chiefs against the Bills. Then they're going to have a game on Black Friday on Amazon. That will have Denver taking on Pittsburgh. Several other marquee 2026 games that were announced earlier in the week. First Sunday night game, we'll have the Giants taking on the Cowboys. The first Monday night game will be the Broncos and the Chiefs. So those are your highlights from the NFL schedule release last night. As God, it took 2 hours to get through it. You can go to your favorite team's website and figure out your schedule. I briefly hit up the Kansas City schedule earlier today, and I just ran down through it. And yep. There's the division games. The Chiefs are going to play the Jets this year in non-conference play. The Chiefs are going to play the San Francisco 49ers in non-conference play. You kind of put that to bed now, and we'll get that back out. We'll revisit that probably in, July, August, September. We'll start to
literally like the first weekend of the NFL season, week 0 or whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, again, this has turned into a monster. What started off as like little cheeky social media videos, like, hey, here's our schedule release, and then the NFL teams kind of tried to like one up each other. It was kind of fun. With the different ways like the marketing departments were unveiling their schedule release. It's just turned into a monster now. A 2-hour special for who your opponents are 7 months from now is outrageous. Yeah,
I bet it got good numbers though last night. TV watchers, you and I
don't know.
Didn't watch it, but
I don't know. I don't know that it did.
The teams with the easiest schedule next year.
We're still on the schedule.
The teams with the easiest schedule, according to win-loss records from a year ago, the Cleveland Browns are on the top 5 list, followed by the Saints, the Bengals, the Falcons, and the Colts. They will have the easiest schedules next year in the NFL. The teams with the hardest schedules next year, Kansas City, Green Bay, Arizona, Miami, and the Chicago Bears. Those are the teams with the toughest schedules next year. You might know Chiefs are in there. The Chiefs, the Packers, the Cardinals, the Dolphins, and the Bears will have the toughest schedule next year in the NFL. But that's all right.
That's why you get referees.
That's why we're in the AFC Championship game in most years. That's why the Buffalo Bills are usually at home. Yeah, that's the way the Buffalo Bills, they roll. So that's your NFL schedule release from last night. Going to spend a whole lot of time elsewhere on that, but that's the schedule release from last night in the NFL games. A couple other news and notes we want to get to. We got a full show here today. Scotty Scheffler leads the PGA Championship after the first round, but he is tied with 6 other golfers at 300 par 67. It's the first time the world's number 1 player has at least a share of the lead after 18 holes in a major. I didn't know that. That stat came right out yesterday, and it struck me as that's never happened before. The world's number 1 golfer has never had at least a share of the lead after 18 holes of a major tournament. Scotty Scheffler has done it. He's tied with 6 other guys for the top spot in the PGA Championship. It's the biggest log jam in a major championship after the first round since 1969. So if you're looking for something to watch this weekend, it looks like the PGA Championship is going to be very competitive. Scotty Scheffler.
Did you see the guy? I just saw this social yesterday. He was 1 minute late to his tee time, so he got assessed a 2-stroke penalty before the tournament even started.
I think I read.
Guy shows up 1 minute late and gets assessed a 2-stroke penalty.
Get there on time. Everybody's on the same clock.
Such a stupid.
If you get there on time,
brown-nosing sport. I just don't understand.
Well, if a guy is a couple of minutes late, you're going to screw up the whole tee time thing.
Literally 60 seconds.
I don't care. Be there on time.
I have seen golfers stand in the tee box for longer than 60 seconds assessing a shot.
You're a professional athlete. Get there on time. You know what time you tee off. Get there on time. I don't care how your morning went. I don't care that you got on your computer and it went under a system update right as you needed to get something done. I don't care. You're a professional athlete. Get to the tee box on time. I don't care that you are 1 minute late. If you're 1 minute late, you're 1 minute late. 2-stroke penalty, take it or leave it.
I am off your lawn. I am sorry.
Well,
I rattled that cage this morning.
Get there on time. I'm glad you brought that up. The Tampa Bay Rays and local officials announced plans for a $2.3 billion agreement to build a new stadium. You kind of talked about the dump down at the Trop occasionally on this show. Anyway, Tampa Bay.
Makes zero sense.
They don't draw a whole lot, do they?
Well, I mean, they will, and they did. They sold out when they actually went to Tampa Bay. So the stadium is in St. Pete's, but what doesn't make sense is they rebuilt the Trop after it was demolished by a hurricane, only to come back 2 years later and say, all right, now let's build a new stadium. Like, why did you spend all that money rebuilding the Trop? You could have just played at Steinbrenner Field again this year.
Yeah, they were there in 2025 following the hurricane.
Put together a decent stadium. But you spend money for the rebuild, and now you're going to say, 2 years later, let's rebuild.
The Rays' lease runs through at least the 2028 season at the Trop. The team expects to have a new stadium built within 3 years.
Nice.
So Tampa Bay Rays, $2.3 billion stadium is on the books. They go through some financing things here in the next week or so with a couple of different entities, but it looks like the Tampa Bay Rays going to be building a new stadium. So
they are the most overdue.
Are they from Tampa Bay?
Oh, yeah.
You said it was a pit down there.
There was two dumps in Major League Baseball. One was the Oco Coliseum, and we know the story of the Oakland A's, and they get uprooted and moved to Vegas. And then the other one was the Trop. Those are the two worst stadiums in baseball. So nice to see they're getting bulldozed for new and shiny.
Yeah, it's a mixture of tax money and private funds, and like I said, there's a couple of hurdles that they've got to.
Do you suppose they're getting a restaurant tax?
Yeah,
in Tampa,
2.5% probably. The Nebraska softball team, we got Jim Slacker. He's going to be coming up here at 7:30 to talk to Ponies. So we'll talk a little Nebraska softball. They're going to open up the regional today at Bowlin Stadium in Lincoln. Nebraska is going to be playing the second game today. The first one will be at 3. Grand Canyon will face Louisville. That will be at 3 o'clock on ESPNU today. If you're looking for the Nebraska softball game, Nebraska is going to play South Dakota today in the second game at 5:30. And you got to go to ESPN Plus to find the Nebraska game. Why the nation's #1 ranked team is not on the ESPN family networks, I don't know. They're on ESPN Plus today. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, it'll be 3 and it's 5:30 for the games today. Husker head coach Rhonda Ravel, she was available for us yesterday to talk about the regional, and obviously she said the Huskers are ready for postseason play.
The feelings are very similar. I mean, like I said, things that are swimming in your gut are going to be swimming in your gut or flying in your gut, and I think that you just learn to try to take those and know that that's a good energy. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I think where people really have to work, because we are at home, it's kind of like funneling down, and because there's just like a lot of excitement, and even on after we won the Big Ten tournament, I wanted the players to have a good day and a half where they could just kind of go wee, and then once we had the selection show, now it's time to funnel it back down, and that's where we are now.
And the coach says the Huskers just continue to need to play boring softball.
Boring has hooked on to you guys, so maybe I need to go boring, being just really routine and consistent. Sticking with a really consistent routine, which there's not a lot of fluff to it or a lot of necessarily excitement to it. But to me, when people can achieve excellence, it's like they master those little things that can be boring or tedious.
Now the Huskers, the #1 seed there in the regional, are going to be taking on the #4 seed in South Dakota. But Rhonda says that South Dakota could be tough today.
South Dakota, they're hot at the right time. and they've got a pitcher that is just really gritty and comes at you. And, she throws hard. She's in the upper 60s. She throws as hard as almost anybody we faced this year. She also has a great changeup. They also have, I think, 6 Nebraska kids on their team, and it's going to mean a lot for them to be here. And, they found ways to beat a very good Omaha team, not once, but twice a week ago.
If there's a special message for her team for this week, it's just to work to win the next pitch.
That's really the key, because like I've said so many times, I'm triple their age, and I could be standing over there at third base, and if I don't stay present, I know I can get us into trouble. So if they don't stay present, they can probably get themselves into trouble, and that's the last thing we want for them. And that's the first thing as coaches we want them to be able to do, is stay present, because then there's no regrets. You just take whatever the results are and know that you did your best.
Now, going to be a busy weekend in Lincoln. You've got the Nebraska softball regional going on at Bowlin Stadium. The Huskers are also hosting the track and field Big Ten championships this weekend.
There's a buzz in this town. It's awesome. When I get emails that streets are going to be closed for this event or that event, it just makes you think that, Nebraska athletics are important. And it's a lot of sports. I mean, we're talking 2 different sports that aren't always in the spotlight, but they are important, and fans do show up, and it means something to people to be a part of something that's special. And track and field's having a special year. We're having a special year. And so let's make special really big.
All right, so that's Rhonda Ravel as the Huskers softball team plays in the NCAA regional. Nebraska hosting a softball regional for the first time in like a decade. So going to be good times today and good times all weekend in Lincoln as softball playing the regional Bowlin Stadium, track and field hosting the Big Ten championships this weekend in Capital City. So there you go there.
There you go. I think she said it best. This is, and I told you when we got the brackets on Monday morning, this is not a good regional draw for us. It's not. Do I think it's winnable? Yeah. But South Dakota, again, beating UNO twice just to make the tournament, and plenty of local flavor on that South Dakota softball team. You got James Madison. They've got an ace. Not James Madison, excuse me. Grand Canyon, same colors as James Madison, with purple and gold. But anyways, they've got an ace that can hum it. And Louisville has always been a good program. So I think, if you're just going down to Lincoln for the regional action, you're going to be treated to some pretty entertaining softball. You just hope that it's Husker victory attached to it.
Yeah, if Nebraska wins the regional, to move on to the super regional, and with the Huskers being the number 4 overall seed in the NCAA tournament field, they'll get a home NCAA super regional next week. So the road to the postseason, the road to Oklahoma City, begins today for Nebraska softball. And again, you'll be able to catch it on ESPN Plus today. I think we're on ESPN somewhere tomorrow if we win. So Nebraska softball will be on ESPN Plus today as Huskers will take on South Dakota today in the second game. The first one, Grand Canyon against Louisville on ESPN2. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Friday. It's a 7:22. Let's see, NBA, they took the night off last night. You're going to have a couple of games on tap tonight, both the possible series clinchers, as Detroit will play at Cleveland tonight. San Antonio is at Minnesota. The Cavaliers and the Spurs lead their respective series 3-2, so they could come to an end tonight. Detroit playing at Cleveland, San Antonio at Minnesota. That's your NBA playoff schedule for this Friday.
And on the ice, Marcus is not feeling well this morning.
I saw that.
His Ducks have been eliminated. A 5-1 victory as Vegas flexed last night to pick up the win. So it'll be Vegas and Colorado have advanced out of the Western Conference. Montreal is now 1 win away from knocking off the Sabres. They lead the series 3-2 after a 6-3 victory. So some lopsided affairs yesterday. And it looks like tonight the NHL is taking the night off.
Yeah.
I have no games on my calendar. However, we have action in the Premier League. Aston Villa and Liverpool kick off at 2 p.m. today. That you can catch that on NBC or Peacock. Just throwing it out there if you want to watch soccer today.
So soccer's going to be on NBC.
Soccer's been on NBC.
So the soap operas are kind of taking the week off, or what?
It's a 2 o'clock start.
That's when the soap operas are on.
They wrap up around 2. Hell, I don't know.
I haven't watched those for a long time.
It's on NBC today.
All right. In soccer yesterday.
Oh, wow.
At the notice how we slide right into that. Soccer yesterday at the state high school soccer tournament in Omaha. They had the Class B boys on the field. And Lexington, they were the number 6 seed in Class B. They beat Bennington in the last game last night, winning by the score of 2-1. So
Love to see it.
the Minutemen, they move on to the semis. Another school that doesn't have a lot of success at athletics except for soccer, Schuyler.
Yes.
They beat Omaha Skutt yesterday in Class B boys, 3-2. Yeah, that's a big one. Schuyler winning over Skutt, 3-2. Elkhorn North wins over Omaha Roncalli, 1-0. Or should I say 1-0?
1-0.
1-0. And Gretna got by Lincoln Pius yesterday, 2-1. They'll move into the semifinal round now today. Class A will be on the field today, and then Class B tomorrow. Class A girls will have Lincoln Southwest playing Elkhorn South at noon today, followed by Kearney against Omaha Marion at 2. Then the Class A boys will be the evening session, Papillion La Vista South. Lincoln Southwest will go at 5:30 this afternoon. Omaha West Side and Omaha South at 7:30. So that's what's going on in soccer. The state high school baseball tournament gets underway today in Omaha. Class A going to play their opening round games today, and classes B and C will play their opening round games tomorrow. Omaha West Side will play Millard South at 9 this morning at Warner Park, followed by Millard North against Omaha Creighton Prep at noon. We'll also play at Ty Anderson Field on the UNO campus today. Lincoln East will play Grand Island at 9 this morning, followed by Lincoln Southwest and Papillion La Vista South. That game will be at 12 o'clock noon. So that's what's going on in high school soccer and high school baseball as they continue to wrap up their spring seasons. Gave you the update on the NBA and the National Hockey League, and Jim Sliker is going to be joining us here momentarily in Talk Ponies. So we'll roll on here. Waking up with Mike and Tyson. It's a Friday morning, 7:26 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Hastings Park and Rec Department and Hastings Police Department are collaborating to present Street Smarts Summer Kickoff. It is a new free community event from 1 to 3 on Saturday at the Hastings Aquacourt Water Park. Children can decorate bicycles and scooters inside the community center and then join in a fun, safe wheels parade. Street Smarts is oriented for elementary age participants, but can be applicable to older and younger children as well. To participate in the obstacle course, all participants must wear a helmet. Meanwhile, the Hastings Utilities Water Department plans to convert a decommissioned drinking water well into a aquifer storage and restoration feed water well utilizing. Let's use a period there. They plan to use the aquifer storage and restoration feed water well, period, utilizing grant funding from Google. Hastings was notified on April 2nd that the department will receive $1.2 million to cover all capital costs for the project, as well as 10 years of estimated operation and maintenance costs. In the case of Hastings, the grant was awarded to make a high nitrate water source drinkable again. Well 17 on the north side of Lake Hastings has long tested too high in nitrates and been unusable in the Hastings drinking water system. It is now 7:28. We will spin things over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going on in sports?
The Nebraska baseball team scored 7 runs in the 6th inning to beat Minnesota 12-7 yesterday. Up in Minneapolis, Drew Grego had his second consecutive 3-hit game, going 3 for 5 with a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Joshua Overbeek was 2 for 5 with a double, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Nebraska is now 39-14 in the season, 21-7 in the conference. The same two teams will play at 5 this afternoon on BTN. Drew Carey of Nebraska has been named one of the 48 semifinalists for the Dick Hauser Trophy, presented each year to the top college baseball player in the nation. Carey is hitting .357 with 15 doubles, 2 triples, 14 home runs, 61 RBIs, and 48 runs scored. The finalists will be announced on June 4th. The winner will be unveiled on June the 12th. Hastings College men's golf team is making a run at the NAIA Championships in Silvis, Illinois. The Broncos are currently tied for 3rd place after recording the second-best score in the field yesterday at +3. Hastings is 12 strokes behind Oklahoma City and 6 strokes behind Friends University with 18 holes to play. Taiki Sugawara of Hastings is currently tied for 5th overall. He's got a score of +2. He's just 3 strokes behind the leader. To check new sports headlines, it's 7:30 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Hot summer-like weather in the forecast as we head into the weekend, and strong to severe thunderstorms as well. Today we'll have a high in the mid-90s, plenty of sunshine, and a north-northeast wind becoming south at 5 miles per hour. Tonight we'll have a few strong to severe thunderstorms in the southeastern part of the state. The Tri-City should remain dry overnight tonight. We'll have a low of 58, 88 on Saturday, and a slight risk 2 out of 5 on the threat scale for isolated tornadoes. Large hail and damaging winds, 3 out of 5 on the threat scale. Sunday, the same threats apply.
We've got calm winds this morning. Very enjoyable. Tiptoe outside here today. Clear skies, sunshine. It's 57 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, Funeral Director and Owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high speed, dirt slinging, adrenaline pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class winged beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
All right, Mike Willenstein, Center Bronick with you. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. It's a Friday, and you know what that means. It's time to talk ponies. Time to talk ponies here today.
They're at the post. Now they're moving into the gate.
In the Kentucky Derby, and Barbaro is running away. It's Edgar Prado aboard, and Barbaro is going to win this Derby by 6 lengths. Bluegrass had second. From far back, Steppenwolf came on to be third.
All right, every Friday we like to talk ponies with Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network as he joins us here this morning. Hey, good morning, Jim. How you doing?
I am doing great. All regenerated, ready to go after kind of an open week last week.
It's a change of scenery. We moved from Fauner Park to the Lincoln racetrack. So change of scenery, but a lot of the familiar horses, a lot of familiar jockeys moving on to Lincoln. So we just do it all over again. How long is the Lincoln meet this year?
The Lincoln meet will start on Saturday, and it'll run through June 14th. And they'll be racing just on Saturdays and Sundays with the exception of Memorial Day. And first bus time every day will be 1:30. But, all in all, it looks like it's shaping up to be a pretty good meet. There's a lot of horses on the grounds. People are going to have to learn, though, there's no 6 furlong races at Legacy Downs. They run 5, 5.5, and then they go to 7. They have a 7 furlong track there, so 7/8 of a mile. And so it plays a little different, but last year we seen a speed bias there. I'm looking for that again this year with the hot, dry weather that we've had. Now they're talking some rain moving in. If rain moves in, I'm still kind of looking at the same horses because I am playing speed, and speed seems to carry in the mud. So either way, I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Jim, that's one thing I wanted to touch on here. We'll get to your picks and kind of preview the card here in just a second. But from a handicapping perspective, when you're saying a track has a speed bias, is that something where you're looking at the speed ratings and times? How do you, or I guess maybe what's different from handicapping Legacy Downs, a 5.5 furlong track, to the 6 and 6.5 furlongs of Fauner?
Well, you'll see horses. Basically, you better be on the lead at this track. Anyhow, that's how it played last year. You better be in the top 3 and better be close. There was a few that come from off the pace, but for the most part, you better have some speed, but you also have to have the stamina to carry it. But these wide sweeping turns were not a 4 furlong sprint. You're getting that extra furlong and a half out there. It plays a little different. You have horses that run 6 furlongs that look like, oh man, they've come from off the pace really good, able to catch those leaders. But now you take that extra 1/8 or a 1/16 of a mile off, and it plays a huge difference. But overall, as I said, with the wide sweeping turns, any horse does have a chance. We don't have the tight turns on a 7/8 mile, and I look for some really good racing.
So racing gets underway this weekend at Lincoln's racetrack. What about the opening day card, Jimmy? What do you see that strikes you on the opening day?
Well, the opening day card has some pretty good fields. There's 8 races, and there's a good balance in them. There's full fields in some of them, or let's say there's at least 8 horses in a field. So overall, very competitive races. If I'm looking to try to make some money, I'm probably going all the way to race 7 on Saturday, and I'm looking at a horse called Sis Boom Bob. That horse has so much speed, and with the speed bias, I really think that should be my best bet of the day in race 7 is Sis Boom Bob being able to get out there and control the pace and take them to the finish.
Again, Jim Schleicher from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us. You can get picks and insights on the Facebook group. Just search Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network, and again, all the insights and all the news and all of the buzz. And a lot of the buzz this weekend, Jim, is going to surround the second leg of the Triple Crown. The Preakness Stakes is running, and there has been some changes to this year's Preakness. Not a Pimlico. There's been some renovations that are ongoing, so it's a new track. And essentially, from the Kentucky Derby just a few weeks ago, this is kind of a new field as well. We've got some familiar names, some scratches from the Derby, but some new favorites and kind of a brand new race here for the second leg.
It is. It's this year's Triple Crown is a lot different. Again, I said they're racing at Laurel rather than Pimlico. Same distance, though, but a different track. And then we also look in 3 weeks from now, the Belmont will not be run at Belmont. It will be run over at Aqueduct, and they call it right now Belmont at Aqueduct. But Belmont's going through a renovation as well, putting in a whole brand new stadium and everything, about $1 billion new track over there and facility that'll be debuted next year. So it's really a different Triple Crown this year.
Let's, as long as we're talking about the Preakness, let's talk about the field. I see 14 horses going to the post on Saturday. The last time 14 horses raced in the Preakness was in 2011. So a full field of horses going at the Preakness. Who pops out in this field, Jimmy?
Well, I don't know. People are going to probably think I'm a little crazy here, but there's only 2 horses that come out of the Derby in this field, one of them being Ocella, and the other one we've got to go all the way down towards the bottom to see Incredibles. But there seems to be a lot of speed in this race. There's a lot of horses that show liking to be out on the lead. So therefore, I'm probably going to go against speed in here. Hope they go out, burn each other out, and I'm going to look at one of the Derby horses, and I'm going with number 2, Ocelli. Now, that's going against a lot of odds because Ocelli, even though he's starting out at 6-1, he's still a maiden. He's never won a race in his life. He hasn't even broke his maiden, but you look last time, he had a little problems, but he come from way off the pace, and he run 3rd in the Kentucky Derby, and he was only a length behind Golden Tempo. So we're looking at something that hasn't happened in over 100 years to have a maiden win if he would win the Preakness. But that's where my money's probably going. And if I was going to go for a second-place horse, I'm looking at the number 1, Taj Mahal. And that one there has a lot of sentiment to it because a couple of years ago, Jenna Antonucci won the Belmont. She was the first woman trainer to win a Triple Crown race. So she wins the Belmont. This year, we have Sherry DeVoe come in. She wins the Derby. There's never been a woman that's won the Preakness Stakes, and Brittany Russell has Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal will likely be one of the favorites in the race. And another interesting tidbit there is her husband is actually riding the horse for her. So Taj Mahal will be one of the speed horses in the race. He's also a local horse, but that's one that I'll be playing in my exotics there.
Taj Mahal draws the one post, the inside rail. That proved to be a little bit tricky in the Kentucky Derby when we were handicapping, and of course we had Renegade who was on the inside, and that certainly was my favorite in the Derby. You had told me to approach that with caution because the inside post position in a field of 20, 18, 17 horses is tricky? Is it a little different from the Preakness standpoint to get that post position?
It is different in the Preakness than what we see in the Kentucky Derby, because the Kentucky Derby, they're breaking back in the very far corner of the track. They've also got to come through the chute there to where you hit the opening of the turn there. And there's just a little bit of a slight turn there. And in the Derby, those horses tend to get pinched back there as everybody starts crowding over towards the rail. Whereas we're looking at being at Laurel, there is no chute there or anything that they're going to have that pinch down on. And it's a straight run down the stretch that first time without any angle at all. So the one hole shouldn't be a detriment like it is in the Derby.
Now, we saw some surprises in the Derby, Jimmy. You got Oselli, who's a 6-1 morning favorite to win, so it's kind of an upset there. But is there a horse in this field that we might take a look at with some long odds? And if you want just to throw a couple of bucks out there and see if this thing is going to stick and see if we can get somebody on the board, do you have a horse in mind that we can maybe snag as a real long shot in this one?
You know, nothing really jumps out at me as a real long shot. One that I've kind of looked at a bit just because of who he's run against is another speed horse, and that would be the number 10, Napoleon Solo. But his last two races, he needs to do a turnaround. His first two races were fantastic, and then his last two races, he's been left off the board. But I do think he stands a good chance there. He's got a good jockey in Paco Lopez. Chad Summers trains him and very familiar with the track there, and should run good, but I just don't think he has enough to win.
Playing on my exotics will be the number 7, The Hell We Did. I think that's a appropriately named horse for a betting slip for me this weekend. We'll throw him in with some of your picks as well. Let's go back to Legacy Downs here as we kind of put the or open up the curtain on opening weekend, if you will, for Legacy Downs as far as best bet, long shot plays. Let's run down the weekend one more time.
Well, on Saturday, best bet again was the 7th race, number 3, Sis Boom Bob. That horse has the speed to take this and set the pace. Now, if I'm looking for a long shot on Saturday, I'm going to start out in race 2 with a horse called One Last Thing. I think he needs to be on the lead to win. He's been running 4 furlongs, and he hasn't had the lead. If you look at that, it's a little misleading because when you look at the horses that he run against going 4 furlongs, them were some really quality horses. Them are toughed out breaks. So I do think this is a little softer field that with the speed there, and he'll be able to get out and get the win. So I'm looking at race 2, number 1, One Last Thing is my long shot. If we move on to Sunday's card, Sunday's got some pretty good races in there. Going there, my best bet of the day is in the 5th race, a horse called Wicked Rose. It's the best horse on paper. It just needs to get a clean break this time to be able to get out there and get over and tucked onto the rail. So I do think Wicked Rose can do that. She's got good connections, and she has the stamina to go the distance. If I remember right, that's a 7 furlong race, and she'll do just fine there. Long shot is race 7, Party Bug. This is a very evenly matched race as far as horses in there. I think she'll be probably not on the lead, but she'll be sitting right behind him in a stalking position, and she gets a really good rider for going into Legacy Downs, and that's Travis Cunningham. Travis Cunningham last year won on 21, just a little over 21% of his mount. So, you know, that's a credible jockey over there. He knows the track really well. He likes the 7/8 mile, and so there's where I'm looking at to go with my long shot.
All right, so even though we don't have live racing at Fonner this weekend, you can go up and bet the simulcast from Lincoln and do a little betting on the Preakness. So still a big weekend of racing for area racing fans here in the Tri-Cities area if you want to head up to Fonner Park this weekend and enjoy the races on Saturday.
Yeah, there's a lot of tracks to bet. There's some very good races going on across the country. There's another good one today. The Philly Triple Crown race will be running today. Basically, it's like the Preakness for the Phillies, and that's the Black Eyed Susan. So that one will be on the card there at Laurel as well. And, if you're looking at horses there, I like Jumping the Gun, 8-Piece Grill, and Breaking Papa there. So that's a good chance to get out, make a little money today, and set up your bank account for the weekend.
All right, Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us here this morning, like he does each and every Friday on Huddle Up. Again, you can go to his Facebook group at Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network and get the latest, not only on the weekends, but throughout the week. If you got some breaking news in the horse racing industry, you're one of the first to report it, Jimmy, and we appreciate that. We enjoy keeping up on your Facebook group at Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network.
We do try to report on everything going on across the country. We team up with a lot of other groups like the Pollock Report, Midwest Racing, Paddock Report, and things like that we all try to help each other out. So, yeah, the news is there, and we'll try to keep you up to date.
All right, Jimmy, have yourself a great weekend. Look forward to talking to you, and hopefully we've got our pocket full of money after this weekend, all right?
I hope so. Looking forward to talking to you guys next week, and hopefully Big Red looks good this weekend, that Nebraska can finish off Iowa, and that the softball goes on, and we are talking about a super regional next weekend.
All right, Jimmy, have a good week. We'll see you next week. Jim
Thanks, guys.
Jim Sliker of the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us each and every Friday morning to talk ponies. Yeah, the Preakness, they got 14 horses in the field. That's first time that's happened in a long time, 2011.
Yeah, I was gonna throw that stat out there, but you just led with it, and I was like, hey, good effort on the research department. Speaking of research, I was Black Eyed Susan. I was thinking that sounded really familiar, and for good reason. The Black Eyed Susan cocktail. For you wannabe bartenders out there, here's a little lecture. The classic version, a little combination of vodka, bourbon, peach schnapps, orange juice, and sour mix for a tangy yet sweet summery flavor.
Now you're throwing out your bartending tips?
It's a Black Eyed Susan. Vodka, bourbon, peach schnapps, OJ, and sour.
That doesn't sound bad.
And I'm thinking I'm going to make a little run to the grocery store here.
Yeah, that doesn't sound...
Make me some Black Eyed Susans this weekend.
Bad at all.
Hopefully we don't black out.
Yeah, good job. You're waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports at 7:51.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
The Hastings Park and Rec Department and Hastings Police Department are collaborating to present Street Smarts Summer Kickoff. It is a new free community event that will be going from 1 to 3 on Saturday afternoon at the Hastings Aquacourt parking lot. Children can decorate bicycles and scooters inside the community center and join for a fun Safe Wheels parade. Street Smarts is oriented for elementary age participants, but can be applicable to older and younger children as well. To participate in the obstacle course, all participants must wear a helmet. Meanwhile, the Hastings Utilities Water Department plans to convert a decommissioned drinking water well into an aquifer storage and restoration feed water well, utilizing grant funding from Google. Hastings was notified on April 2nd that the department will receive $1.2 million to cover all capital costs for the project, as well as 10 years of estimated operation and maintenance. In the case of Hastings, the grant was awarded to make a high nitrate water source drinkable again. Well 17 on the north side of Lake Hastings has long tested too high in nitrates and has been unusable in the Hastings drinking water system. It is now 7:52. We'll swing things back over to you, Mike Will. What's going on in sports?
The Nebraska softball team will play South Dakota today in the first round of the NCAA Regional at Bowlin Stadium. First pitch will be at 5:30 on ESPN+. In the first game at 3, Grand Canyon will face Louisville on ESPNU. The Nebraska baseball team scored 7 runs in the 6th inning to beat Minnesota 12-7 yesterday in Minneapolis. Drew Grego had his second consecutive 3-hit game, going 3 for 5 with a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Joshua Overbeek was 2 for 5 with a double, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Nebraska is now 39-14 in the season, 21-7 in the conference. The same two teams will play at 5 this afternoon on BTN. Drew Carey of Nebraska has been named one of the 48 semifinalists for the Dick Hauser Trophy, presented each year to the top college baseball player in the nation. Carey is hitting .357 with 15 doubles, 2 triples, 14 home runs, 61 RBIs, and 48 runs scored. The finalists will be announced on June 4th, and the winner will be unveiled on June 12th. Hastings College men's golf team making a run at the NAIA Championships in Silvis, Illinois. The Broncos are currently tied for 3rd place after recording the second-best score in the field yesterday at +3. Hastings is 12 strokes behind Oklahoma City and 6 strokes behind Friends University with 18 holes to play. Taiki Sugawara of Hastings is currently tied for 5th overall with a score of +2. He is just 3 strokes behind the leader. And again, at the State High School soccer tournament yesterday, the Lexington boys upset Bennington 2-1. In the other games, Gretna beat Lincoln Pius 2-1. Elkhorn North got by Omaha Roncalli 1-0. And Schuyler defeated Omaha Skutt 3-2. Class A semifinals going to be held today. Class B semifinals on Saturday. State High School baseball tournament gets underway today in Omaha with first-round games in Class A. Grand Island will be playing this afternoon. Actually, Grand Island will be playing at 9 o'clock this morning as they will take on Lincoln East at Ty Anderson Field on the UNO campus. The Class B and Class C first-round games will be played on Saturday. That's your check in your sports headlines, brought to you by Bamboo Mind and Body Spa of Hastings and Blue Hill. You can check them out at bamboospa.websites or on Facebook.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Hot summer-like weather in the forecast as we head into the weekend, and strong to severe thunderstorms as well. Today we'll have a high in the mid-90s, plenty of sunshine, and a north-northeast wind becoming south at 5 miles per hour. Tonight we'll have a few strong to severe thunderstorms in the southeastern part of the state. The Tri-Cities should remain dry overnight tonight. We'll have a low of 58, 88 on Saturday, and a slight risk 2 out of 5 on the threat scale for isolated tornadoes. Large hail and damaging winds, 3 out of 5 on the threat scale. Sunday, the same threats apply.
We've got calm winds this morning. It is sunny, clear skies. It's 57 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Looking for the perfect way to spend your Friday night in Hastings? Head just east of town on J Street and experience the excitement of Cam Raceway. Every Friday night through August, Cam Raceway brings you a full evening of grassroots racing on Nebraska's fastest 8th-mile dirt track. You'll see it all. Stock non-wing micros, restricted micros, junior sprints, junior cage karts, adult flat karts, and junior flat karts. Catch all the local drivers, all competing for the win under the lights. Gates open at 7 p.m. and racing gets underway at 8 p.m. And the best part, admission is just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free with a paying adult. So this Friday night, skip the routine and make your way to Cam Raceway, where the engines fire up, the dirt flies, and the whole family can enjoy a night at the races.
You could sit at home this weekend, or you could be 350 feet above the North Loop River Valley with a glass of wine in hand. At Miletta Vista Winery, we've got the view, the food, and the wine to make the drive worth it. Lunch, dinner, or small plate appetizers, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. No stress, no rush, just a better way to spend your time. Miletovist Winery. Come and see what you've been missing. Miletovist Winery, St. Paul, Nebraska. Let us know you're coming. 308-754-4416.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
The key to a thriving community is a good foundation, and for over 75 years, Hastings Federal Credit Union has been building and supporting Hastings and the surrounding areas, providing the support for new cars to keep you on the road, new homes to give you a place to land, or help with whatever life throws your way. With easy access via online banking or our mobile app, it's never been easier to have your financial dreams at your fingertips. Come see us at Hastings Federal Credit Union to start your banking journey today.
Looking for the perfect spot before or after the game? Head to Miscue's Sports Bar and Grill in Hastings. Choose from your favorite sandwich or build your own burger or chicken sandwich just the way you like it. Your choice of cheese, sauces, and all your favorite toppings. Craving wings? Choose from over 20 sauces and rubs that bring the flavor every time. Grab an appetizer, catch the game on the big screens, or challenge your friends to a game of pool or darts. There's always something to do. And don't forget the daily lunch specials. Miscue's Sports Bar and Grill, 316 South Elm. Great food, great games, and the perfect hangout in Hastings.
All right, Mike Welch, Heinz Veronica with you. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Friday. Made it through another week.
Somehow.
Hasn't been easy, but made it through another week. As far as sports this weekend, of course, state high school baseball, state high school softball going on locally. The Nebraska softball team playing in the NCAA Regional this weekend. They'll play this afternoon at 5:30 against South Dakota. You can see it on ESPN Plus today. Nebraska baseball playing their series up in Minneapolis. They won the game on Thursday, 12-7. They'll play again today at 5 on BTN. The third game of the series will be on Saturday. What else is going on? What else is going on this weekend? Hastings College men's golf team finishing out the NAIA championships today in Silvis, Illinois. They're making a run. They're right now in third place overall, within 6 strokes of second place and 12 strokes behind the leader, Oklahoma City, with 18 holes to play. Preakness, horse racing-wise, coming up on Saturday.
Vodka, bourbon, peach schnapps, OJ, and sour mix. Black-Eyed Susan today.
That's the race going on?
That's the race, but it's also a really refreshing cocktail.
God. Something to look forward to.
I made myself thirsty this morning.
Yeah.
I did it to myself.
8 o'clock in the morning.
But it's really cool. Like, I got a new idea based on double-checking my drink recipe. So they do, like, the Black-Eyed Susan, but, like, to make the black eye, they have, like, an entire orange peel, and then they take a cherry, and you go with the cherry stem, you go through the middle, and then just kind of tuck it on the underneath side and then garnish. So, like, the cherry is right in the middle of the orange, and it kind of looks like a black eye. That's a cool trick.
Are you working today?
I am.
God, you'll be back there trying to make that.
I'm working
I can see it already. Stop by and see it tonight. God.
Well, we don't.
Weather has not changed too much from yesterday. We want to keep people advised on it. Tim was on with us yesterday for a lengthy period of time. We're going to have some severe weather this weekend in the state. Tonight it looks to be like more to the southeastern part of the state.
Oh.
But then on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it looks like we're right in the bullseye.
Hell yeah.
Of everything. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, And then on Tuesday, it's going to be back down in the southeastern part of the state. We're talking some large hail. We're talking the possibility of some tornadoes even popping up. So this is going to be a severe storm system that moves through here. So be advised, a lot of baseball, a lot of softball being played this weekend, just to name a few outdoor activities. But if you've got outdoor activities planned for this weekend, be alert Saturday, Sunday, even into Monday. We're right in the bullseye. A lot of the storm chasers from throughout the nation are heading this way. And anytime you see national storm chasers around, you know that something serious could happen here. So be alert for that.
Bring it on. I'm. Tim kind of made fun of me. I've talked to Tim privately about this. He knows where I stand on severe weather. I go outside, pull up a lawn. I pull up a lawn chair. I have a cooler, 6-pack of Busch Light. And first lightning strike is the first crack of the beer. I watch it roll in. I freaking love storms. Bring it. Bring it on, baby.
Sometimes you're a weirdo.
You don't like... How can you not love the thrill of Mother Nature?
What happens if a tornado comes?
It'd be really fun to watch for a hot minute until it gets a little close. And once you start getting hit in the face with tree branches, you tuck into the garage.
You'll be on the next obituary.
Died with Busch Light in hand.
Yeah, you died happy. If anything pops up over the weekend and Tim goes live with his network, it'll pop up here on the Extreme Sports as well. So we'll try to keep you advised. So if anything happens in the immediate area this weekend, make sure you go to our websites as well and all of our social media sites on our video links, and we'll get you the latest info with Tim on Nebraska Weather TV. Tim Jones will have the latest info, so we'll keep you up to date this weekend. So that puts a wrap on things. Again, if you'd like to listen to Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network, he joined us today. Talked some ponies, talked to Preakness. Rhonda Revelle, the head softball coach for Nebraska, had some comments on the show today, so you can go back and listen to that. Go to the social media sites, download the podcast, listen to it at your convenience throughout the day here today. Have yourself a great day, a safe weekend. We'll see you again on Monday morning with Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.